Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am in a different spot today because I'm at work. I'm having lunch. But there's a couple of topics that I needed to come to you guys and talk to you guys. Excuse me if you see me eating because I am having lunch. But welcome back. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for clicking that view button. So yeah, let's get right into it. Y'all can see from the thumbnail that this video is going to be about Mr. Martell, Mrs. Ariana Curry, Mel, and some other things, child. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that Martell was going to be on this panel that discusses women. And I'm a little bit annoyed because this panel was a women empowerment panel. Now, he has since been booted off of the women empowerment panel, but there's some things that I want to discuss that kind of disturb me. Now, so the panel's name was Epitome of a Woman, right? And the speaker I think her name was Latrice. So Miss Latrice gets on these internet streets and gonna try to say that she didn't know who Martell Holt was. It's really mind-boggling that she didn't know who he was when she initially booked him, because he's been everywhere, from the TV show to the interviews that he's been doing to the things that he's been putting out on. Even if you don't watch the show, even if you live under a rock, you probably would have heard his name. So it's kind of perplexing to me that she would say her excuse was she didn't know who he was before she booked the show. I don't believe you, ma'am. I don't believe you. You did the right thing by booking him, but I don't understand, with all the things that's going on in TV land, whatever, why you would think that he would have something substantial to add to be on a panel entitled Epitome of a Woman. It doesn't matter if it's a black woman, it doesn't matter if it's this kind of woman, it doesn't matter, just a woman, period, with all the misdeeds that he has done to women, let alone his ex-wife now, right? I'm trying to find it hard for y'all to think that he has something substantial enough to say or add to a panel that is supposed to be discussing and breaking down the epitome of a woman. It's mind-blowing to me that you would even consider him to be a panelist. So for you to sit here and say that you didn't know who he was, ma'am, I think you're lying. But that's neither here nor there. He's been booted. That was one that needed to be done, and I thank her for doing it. All the things that he has done, I don't even see how he could add anything to the conversation. But I'm just saying, that's neither here nor there. Right? I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments and y'all let me know if I'm reaching. I just might be reaching. So now let's move on to the meat and potatoes of all of this. Ms. Ariana Curry, I think her name was the original Straight No Chaser. She did an interview with this lady a while ago. And this lady has since spliced up this interview and has dropped the interview segments here, there, and there, and there, and there, right? So now Mel banged out with her TV series, and she's doing still big things. So in order for them to take the shine away from her, here comes these two bozos in the news, especially the clown mask baby mama in the news, discussing Mel and then her mother and her children, the TV show, like all kind of stuff she was discussing. This lady dropped the interview, right? Now, I feel like they're working in tandem. And the reason why I say I feel like they're working in tandem is because every time she does something substantial, something significant, they always come out with something to try to overshadow her and take away her shine. After his interview with Tasha K, he was super, super, super quiet, right? Now she's done this TV show. Her TV show dropped, broke the internet, supposedly, and now here comes this bozo with this interview, and she's dropping the interview. So I think all three of them are working together. I think Martell is working with the straight chaser girl with Ariane, allegedly. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Because there's no way that every time she does something in her life or, you know, of something significant, we always got to take away and focus on these clowns. Honestly. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think, because that's what I think. So now this girl goes to talk about Martell is the only one. She says Martell was the only one that was pushing her to be on the show. Now, the reason why I started with this is because this ties into the Tasha K and Martell interview. Because in the interview, he stressed the fact that he wanted her to be on the show. Oh, I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know. Da, da, da. So clearly they was having conversations, him and her. They was pillow talking and having conversations about her being on the show. And that was his validation for her. It goes straight back to that statement that he made of her being on the show. Because he wants to show to her or prove to her that he was pushing for her to be on a show, which I don't believe. I don't believe it, but I'm just breaking it down what she said, right? She says production was going to blindside Mel and let her son be on the show, but she didn't allow it. She didn't agree to it. Girl, nobody wants to see that kid on that show. She keeps saying that this show is a clown show and that you watching this clown show. And the fact that you want to be on this clown show, but the show was a clown show, like every chance you get. No one wants her on the show. And I'm just being honest. From my perspective, nobody wants her on the show. And the reason why nobody wants her on the show is because she's liable to expose a lot of things. So they don't really want her on the show. But Martell is pillow talking her and letting her believe that they want her on the show. Let's move on. So she says that she's the tea and that they always talking about her on the show. I wish you just get a clue, ma'am. Just please, just for all of our sakes, just get a clue. They don't want you on the show because you're a liability. You say whatever comes to your mind, right? Whatever you think, it comes out of your mouth. And for them to allow you on the show, you are liable to slip up and say something, being that you have been around them and you see what they do. You haven't even been on the show and you be letting stuff slip and slide out of your mouth about the other cast members. So imagine if they put you on the show. So not only does Mel don't want you on the show, Martell don't really want you on the show, and neither does his castmates, because you and your liable butt is going to spill all the tea on all of them and get them caught up just like he's caught up. And they don't want that. So that's why you can't be on the show. Drop that in the comments and y'all let me know if I'm getting close, if I'm getting hot. Drop down in the comments and let me know. That's how I feel. Then she goes to say that Martell's children are going to grow up hating him. Yes, they will. And the reason why I took this statement, because yeah, they're going to grow up hating him. The reason why they're going to grow up hating him is because you played a pivotal part in the breakup of their home, their family, what they know, right? You messed up because you came in and messed up with his mother. He ultimately caused a divorce in their family, and then the way that he treats their mother, and then also the way that he treats them. They're going to remember that. Kids grow up to remember, and they have conversations. Trust me, kids grow up to remember the things that you did for them and the things that you didn't do for them, and how you treated them and how you didn't treat them. They remember. So yes, they're going to grow up hating him because of him, not because of her or anything that she's doing or saying. It's because of him and his actions and you and your participation in the buffoonery, period. Right? So she says Martell was the alpha parent. I could just laugh at that. I could laugh at that. We've seen many statements where we can see the difference. Then Martell is the reason why the children are was active in sports and other activities. All these things cost money, ma'am. All these things cost money. I beg to differ. He has no money. He has no money. No, regardless of what he told you, I don't think he has any money. So he can't really afford it. Then this bird brain believes whatever he tells her. Like whatever he tells her, her pea brain is gonna believe it. He could say that the sky is gray, and the sky could clearly be pink, and she gonna say, "Yep, Martell said that the sky is gray. It's gray." Child, I don't even understand it. Help me to understand it. Everything he's telling her for years, like all the stuff that he's been telling her for years, she just eat it up and believe it. Get your head out of the clouds, ma'am. Get your head out of the clouds, right? So then she says that the Eminem kids eat nothing but fast food every day. And I'm just like, I can recall Mel being on live many a times, and she's cooking for them kids, and she got food prepared for them, and they always doing something, Taco Tuesdays, whatever the case may be. But I'm like, for you to be sitting here talking about this lady and her children and how she take care of her children, how does he take care of those children when you're not around? Because you seem to be the maid, the mattress, and the mule. Shout out to, what's her name? You seem to be the one that's making it up. And then for you to talk about how somebody else is raising their children, your child on those lives is always sick, always eating snacks, always having popsicles, like 6 o'clock in the morning. But you could say that somebody else is always, I'm lost. Like, worry about your own closet. Like, worry about what's in your backyard. Worry about that. Worry about that. But let's move on. We gotta move on happily. She's so delusional. I'm so lost. And in La La Land, it's weird to me. It's so weird to me that is weird to me. So the lady is like throwing out hints on what to get her to say. And I feel like the lady was baiting her. And the reason why I say that is because we all know that she's not the smartest potato chip, the potato chip in the bag. We already know that, right? But because how Tasha K was playing in her face, and we all know that she didn't catch it, the lady cued in on that, like honed in on that. So she's gonna tell her, she took a page right out of Tasha K's book. So she's gonna tell her whatever to get her to say more stuff. So she's gonna throw little hints out there to get her to say more stuff. Or this was rehearsed, allegedly, was rehearsed, and she did that how she did it, just for them to get her to talk. Right? And she's so arrogant, Miss Ariane. She's so arrogant and she thinks she know everything about Mel, and we don't know nothing, and da-da-da-da-da. Everything that Martell say is golden, da-da-da-da-da. That she's so braggadocious about what she says, and just, oh, this is fact. Because he said it, it's fact. I'm lost. She tried to imply that Mel was a side baby. I said, girl, you and your pillow talking is not doing anybody any justice. I was so mad. She started talking about Mel's mother and how Mel's father was he was married. And I'm just like, do you know these people? Do you know them personally for you to be slandering them like this little girl? You don't even know the meaning of a 2-parent household, and you're going to sit here and tell me that somebody else's husband was married and you didn't even know what was going on in your own house. Like, you don't even know the meaning of a 2-parent household. Girl, get a grip. Get a grip. Then she's going to try to say that Miss Van has another son that she gave up for adoption. And I'm just like, how do you know that? Do you know them personally? You know their backstory? You lived with them? You've been around them all their life? Like, you know what's happening? Do you have proof of all these things that you're saying? Do you have proof? I'm just asking for a friend. You got proof? She brings up again how Miss Van was messing with Marcel's brother. And I'm just like, we all know that, whatever, we squashed it, we got the explanation, we don't really care. We don't really care. We don't really care. And even if she was messing with him, we see how he acts and he behaves, so we was glad she got out of it unscathed. So we don't really care. And how she was borrowing money from Mel and Martell to give to the brother. And I'm just like, yes, she can borrow money from her child. Any mother could borrow money from their child. But, like, girl, mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. But, and then, for you to sit here and believe that she was borrowing money from them, right? Ms. Van was borrowing money from them, even if that was the case. Wasn't he the one that stole money out of her account to the point where he got that video that he played on Tasha K showing that she was going to offer him because he stole money from her account? And you gonna sit here and say somebody borrowed money from them, but he stole tens of thousands of dollars from her account? How could he ever participate in a panel that uplifts women? It's questionable. People don't do their homework. They don't do their due diligence before they go and just select these panelists. You didn't Google him, like nothing. Good luck vetting these guys, especially if they behave like this. Good luck, ladies, vetting these guys. He told her about Mel's childhood and her traumas that she faced. And I'm just like, pillow talk. And your wife felt secure with you enough to tell you stuff that was going on in her life, and you turned around and disclosed it to this young girl, and anything they could do to hate you, anything they could do to hurt you, right? They both clowns. They, like, both of them is clowns because she's running with it. And this is straight classic narc behavior. Y'all don't even understand. Straight classic narc behavior. And the reason why I say that is because it happened to me. It happened to me. I had the same issue. When I initially met my ex-husband, we used to pillow talk all the time. I used to share intimate, things with me, cried and all of that stuff. And when we finally separated, the first thing he did was throw that shit in my face. The first thing he did was throw that shit in my face. And I'm just like, so he's displaying classic narc behavior. They both clowns. They both clowns. I don't even see how anybody could stomach listening to her. I don't even really want to discuss what she said about Mel. Honestly, I really don't, because I was a little triggered and annoyed. I just wanted to reach through the TV and slap the crap out of her. Because I'm just like, who are you to even share this information? And why would you even share this information with her? And then you weaponized her and allowed her to go out into the public and share this information with the world. And then I felt like it was a little bit of projection, because narcissists always project. So I felt like maybe somebody touched him and he's still upset with it. And so he want to project it onto her. Maybe somebody did it to him, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, what we doing here? Then she said Mel always comes for her. And I'm just like, that lady don't pay you no attention until you say something about her or say something that she don't like. She don't pay you no attention. She be minding her own business, working, doing her thing. Minding her own business. And then here you come, put her name in your mouth. She's just responding to your stupidity and just showing everybody how stupid you are. That's all that is. Because every time you get on this internet, you embarrass yourself. And then you turn around and think that it's embarrassing her. No, you're embarrassing yourself. And so is the boyfriend. He's always an embarrassment. He's always going to be seen as an embarrassment with his tight clothes. But these women be just eating it up. I feel like this panelist lady was a pick-me as well. You see he's attractive and you want to be in his space. So you allow anything, a women empowerment, and you're going to allow this fool to get on your platform? All hope is lost. Ugh. She says she's Mel's bread and butter. And I'm just like, girl, if you were Mel's bread and butter, then Mel would be nothing but a bunch of failed businesses. And a bunch of heartache, if that was the case. Martell is trying to make you his bread and butter. Like he had made Mel his bread and butter. But you have no value. Like you should have been wiped on a napkin. You have no value. So that's why he can't make you his bread and butter. like he made Mel his bread and butter. YouTubers make more money than you off your own content. You can't even make yourself your bread and butter. YouTubers make more money than you off your own content. So that goes to show who's bread and butter. This lady is out here making businesses for herself, creating businesses for herself, for her kids, establishing an empire for herself and her kids, what she should have done. And instead of this man supporting her and helping her and move forward, even though they're divorced, he hanging on to that one leg, trying to drag her back down in the mud. That's what he doing. And you helping him. Anyway, they talk about Mel and Martell being broke. And I'm just like, I feel like that was Mel's plan anyway, to liquidate their assets and stuff so she could make a clean break from him and start all over and have all her money to herself and capitalize on herself. That was a plan, even if it was the case. But you are too dumb to understand that. She said Martell is business savvy. I said, girl, what? What? Business what? Why hasn't your situation changed if he's business savvy? Y'all still living, y'all look like y'all don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Neither one of y'all. If he was so business savvy, why was he staying in his friend's house this whole season for longer than he needed to be, to the point where the dude got frustrated and had to tell him, like, you got to get out? If he was so business savvy. If he was so business savvy, how come we don't see any of his business moves? I.e., passing the builder's exam. Any of that stuff. Starting new businesses, moving forward, using this platform to showcase his businesses like she does. If he was business savvy. She said he made Mel. This is laughable. Like this is laughable. And there's no way that she believes this foolishness. She said that Martell retired Mel. He can't even retire himself. He can't even retire you. Let alone he retired her. But yet we always see her working and making businesses and doing things and making moves. He can't even retire himself. So you believe that? That he gonna retire her? And she didn't want to work. Okay. We gonna roll with it. Okay. There's a disconnect. She said that there was a disconnect with Mel, but I'm not even gonna speak on that. It's a disconnect with you and your brain. It's a disconnect with you and your brain. Because you falling for the okie doke. The wool is so far, like the wool is down to your feet right now. It don't even have to cover your eyes. It's all the way down to your feet, sis. It's all the way down to your feet. And you want to talk about a disconnect. Like, you want to be like Mel. You want to be like Mel so bad, but you can't. You don't have the savvy. You don't have the intellect to even be on her level. I mean, but it is what it is. That's how it works. But in conclusion, with this interview, I was annoyed. She's so irritating, this little girl. And the reason why I keep saying little girl is because her mind is not fully developed. Even though she's of age, her mind is still stuck in a 20-something-year-old mind, like 21, 22, 19. That's where she at. And that's why I keep calling her little girl. But she's so irritating. She's like one of those flies that keep buzzing around your ear that you can't get rid of. That's what she reminds me of all the time. I don't know. It's annoying to me. But thank you guys for stopping by. I'm going to finish my lunch. And I'm going to go enjoy myself for the rest of the day until I chill. See y'all another day. Ciao. Thank you guys for stopping by. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.